Now on Nightside, a bicyclist hurt in a hit and run.
And the forecast going to be a toasty one this Mother's Day weekend, and we are just getting started.
A jury has found Idaho mom Lori Vallow guilty of murdering her children and conspiring to kill her husband's ex-wife. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. The cyclist was injured in a hit and run just south of Spokane. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. This happened at milepost 75 on State Route 27, just a mile north of Freeman. This story is developing, and we will keep you updated just as soon as we learn more.
Just days before Mother's Day, a jury of 5 women and 7 men found Idaho mom Lori Vallow Daybell guilty of murdering her children and conspiring to kill her husband's ex-wife.
Daybell's defense did not call any witnesses, but they did try to blame her husband for the murders.
A year after meeting Chad, 4 people are dead. Of the 15,000 texts that you have in evidence, show me one where Lori's part of that conspiracy.
Prosecutors said the so-called doomsday mom was caught up in a religious cult and was on a quest for, quote, money, power, and sex with Chad. They argued she was willing to get rid of anyone who got in the way of their love affair, including her own children.
The whole world is out looking for your kids. Dance and laugh on a beach in Hawaii. No. Was a good mom abandon her children in the ground and go marry a recent widower? No.
Vallow Daybell's children, 7-year-old JJ and 16-year-old Tylee, were last seen in September of 2019. Their bodies were eventually found in Chad's backyard. Daybell showed no emotion after the jury found her guilty on all 7 counts. She faces up to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Her husband, Chad Daybell's trial is set for next summer. JJ and Tylee's other family members thanked the jury for the guilty verdict.
Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. For one time in my life, I'm kind of lost at words.
This case touched the lives of more than just family and friends. A nationwide audience has been watching the trial unfold. One woman who came to the courthouse on her lunch break said she is relieved.
But I've been following this as millions of us have. I just had to come down, you know, had to see justice done. And it's just a relief.
Ahead of graduation ceremonies at the University of Idaho tomorrow, the family of Kaylee Gonsalves, one of the 4 students murdered in November, are adjusting to a reality they never prepared for.
I would have never thought a year ago or even 6 months ago when that there was going to be a reason that Kaylee wouldn't be able to accept her own degree, that she wouldn't be here.
Kaylee was set to graduate in December. Her 4 siblings will be accepting a posthumous degree for her. The Gonsalves family is also mourning the loss of Kaylee's best friend, Madison Mogan, who they considered a beloved member of their family as well.
She doesn't have sisters. We are her sisters. Karen just lost her only daughters.
Maddie's mom and stepdad will accept her degree Sunday. Juniors Anna Kernodle and freshman Ethan Chapin will be awarded certificates from the university.
It's a treasured Spokane tradition. The Junior Lilac Parade returns tomorrow at 11 in downtown Spokane. You'll see middle school bands, drill units, youth organizations, and lots of other clubs. And 4 News Now's chief meteorologist Chris Crocker will be your MC for the parade. It's an event she's been hosting for the last 22 years.
We are going to have a warm day for the parade and a warm Mother's Day as well.
Sounds like a pool Mother's Day, if you ask me. Matt Gray is in for Chris Crocker tonight with your first alert forecast.
Yeah, fire up the pools and the fans and the AC units and everything else, because you're going to need them, not just for this weekend, but for a little while. On average, in the month of May, we usually have about 4 days where we hit 80 degrees or warmer. We've had 2 so far. By the time this little spring heat wave, I say little, jokingly, little spring heat wave is over, well, we could be up around 10, 12 days in this May where we'll at 80 degrees or warmer. So we'll be getting close to that record set back in 1924. That is the way things are going. Strong high pressure is building over us, and that led to some of the beautiful weather today. So far, we're on the cool side of this thing, which is a positive, right? That means we're keeping away from the super hot stuff. Our friends across the mountains, not so lucky. Chance for some 90s there by the end of the weekend, why a heat advisory is in place across western Washington and Oregon. Here we are going to see temperatures increase as we go through tomorrow. We'll see much more widespread 80-degree temperatures, 82 for a high, and then on Mother's Day, even hotter. We're talking mid-80s and very mild conditions in the morning with a low of around 57 to start off your Sunday. So as for Saturday, it will be fairly mild as well as we start the day in the 50s, quickly up into the 70s around lunchtime, and then for those couple of hours in the afternoon, we pop up into the 80s and we start feeling probably a little bit more uncomfortable than we have over the last few days with this beautiful weather. Now, what comes after that? Well, more warm temperatures. We don't have much sign of cooling off. We'll also have a chance for a couple of thunderstorms. I'll show you when those will pop up coming up.
Thank you, Matt. With temperatures on the rise, you might be considering going to the river to cool off. Be aware, though, the water may look calm on the surface, but because of spring runoff, even the strongest swimmers could be swept away. Besides strong current, the water is still extremely cold, and if you're swimming in it, your body could go into shock.
The Spokane Parks and Rec Department has given the green light to a new dog park on Upriver Drive. And the approved site is just outside city limits near Minnehaha Climbing Rocks and Shields Park. And people who live in the area felt blindsided by the proposal, saying they didn't know it was happening. One of their biggest concerns was increased traffic.
Is going to become a problem. There is nothing there to limit the speed of the traffic in terms of a physical barrier, no stoplights, there's no crosswalks.
The department says it's brainstorming design options and will be reaching out to the community for their input. A quick reminder, this Tuesday, voters in Coeur d'Alene will decide the fate of hundreds of public school employees.
The district is once again trying to pass its supplemental levy. It originally failed in March, leaving a $25 million hole in the yearly budget, forcing the school board to declare a financial emergency.
It's a people business. That's what schools are all about. So unfortunately, to make any kind of budget cuts, it's primarily people.
Besides staff, the district says if the levy fails to pass, 2 schools will have to close. Ramsey, Dalton, Bora, and Bryan Elementary are on the short list of schools that could be shut down. We do want to hear from you on this. Head over to KXLY.com, where we have a form to submit your questions or concerns about the levy.
Time to take a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. It's do or die time for the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken are behind 3-2 in their best-of-7 playoff series against the Dallas Stars. The Kraken return home tomorrow for Game 6. Seattle needs to win to keep their season alive. Now, the Kraken had a miserable Game 5. They fell behind 3-0 in the second period, and it was just too much to overcome. Seattle will have to win 2 games in a row if they want to advance to the next round. Kraken head coach Dave Haxtell says the focus right now is only on Game 6.
We're a confident group. I mean, you know, it's hey, we're down 3-2, so you know, it's win or you end up, you know, you go home. That's how it is. So we haven't ducked reality or ducked the truth at any point in time through this year, and we won't now. We don't need to. We got to go home and win a hockey game.
The puck drops at 4 o'clock tomorrow in Seattle, and if the Kraken win, Game 7 would be Monday in Dallas. A lot of work to do there first, though. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Coming up on Nightside, cardiologists say all the work moms do can be especially hard on their hearts. How you can help her out this Mother's Day.
And wild video of a suspect caught hiding inside of a clothes dryer during a drug bust.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tire Store.
Chicago. Celebrating 25 years of Broadway Razzle Dazzle. The Associated Press calls Chicago the most entertaining musical of the decade. Paint the town again with Chicago the Musical.
May 13th and 14th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
It would seem quite a lot of car companies are low on inventory these days, with some down to single digits
Well, we don't have that problem out here at Cal. In fact, we are loaded with the same great inventory we always have, including the best selection of trucks in the 509 and the 208.
And even if Cal doesn't have the ride you're looking for in his corral of awesome, they can wrangle it up after shopping the whole country just for you.
And that's the Cal promise.
Get the tax break you deserve at Walker's Furniture, as they offer a double sales tax discount or no minimum purchase, no money down, 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
Freshen up your living room or dine in style this week at Walker's.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
He's got the stars.
Yeah.
The studs.
I don't remember a time in my life I didn't watch his show.
And the unexpected.
I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now. Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
I'm Chad Young from the Easy Home Buyer, and I pay cash for houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast for cash, call us today for your no-obligation as-is cash offer. We buy houses in any condition, and there are no fees, no commissions, and no repairs. We buy houses with tenants, fixer-uppers, bare land, even haunted houses. Woo! Call us today or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
Title 42, the Trump-era health policy allowing the U.S. to quickly turn back migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border for the past 3 years has come to an end.
Officials in El Paso and other border towns had been bracing for a potential surge once the policy lifted, but immigration officials say the numbers have been steady.
Overnight, we saw similar patterns to what we have seen over the past several days. We continue to encounter high levels of non-citizens at the border, but we did not see a substantial increase overnight or an influx at midnight.
New immigration policy requires non-Mexican migrants to apply for and be denied asylum in another country. If the rules are not followed, migrants could be removed and not allowed to enter the U.S. for at least 5 years. To relieve the pressure on facilities along the border, officials have been taking asylum seekers to other parts of the country for processing.
Well, you're not going to see much of the radar here as we go for the next few days. Not much is going to be going on. It is, well, there was barely a cloud in the sky today. There's barely a cloud out there tonight. And all the wet weather that you see out in the Pacific is, well, it's going to be halfway to the North Pole by the time we get to Mother's Day. So just a sign here of what is going to be a long stretch of some very not so spring-like weather. And that begins with our low temperatures tonight, which are going to be on the very mild side. Not a lot of 40s on this map. Instead, it is mostly 50s for our lows tonight. And that includes the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene Metro, where really it's Spirit Lake down to 48. And that is about it. Otherwise, we're talking about low 50s across the breadth of the I-90 corridor through Spokane and through Coeur d'Alene. For your afternoon tomorrow, for a few of us at least, it's going to be the first time that we're up in the 80s. 82 for Spokane. Coeur d'Alene gets up to 80 degrees. Lots of upper 80s in the Columbia Basin, all the way south to the Tri-Cities in the LC Valley. Slowly but surely, anyone who doesn't end up in the 80s, you're going to get there by the end of the weekend. And if not then, by Monday, as that heat continues to build and build and build and build. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one either. But there is a chance here by the time we get to a week from now, we'll be having our first 90-degree day of the year. You notice here as we get into Monday and Tuesday, a little bit of a dip right there. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the program, but we do have some more interesting weather, I guess, for the first couple of days of the week. Our temperatures, by the way, for next week beyond Friday, also looking like they're going to be quite toasty as well. So this is going to be something we have to get used to. I'll be back in a few minutes with your 7-day forecast.
Matt, thank you. New on Nightside, it is Mother's Day weekend, a great time to focus on the well-being of caregivers of all kinds.
Being a mom can be rewarding, but also stressful. Cardiologist Susan Cheng says she sees firsthand the toll life can take on moms.
You think about what a typical mom or a typical caregiver does around the house. It's all the little things, picking up the little things, the following up on little things, and that all adds up. That stress manifests in a lot of different ways: chest pain, shortness of breath, palpitations.
Since moms are often busy taking care of everyone else, Chang says it's important they focus on themselves too. Recognize your stress, ask for and accept help. You can also help yourself by getting enough sleep and prioritizing personal time. Chang says helping caregivers take this time falls on the rest of the family.
New on Nightside, kids spend most of their time in school, and going to the dentist means taking a day off of learning. But dentists might soon be able to go to school. Some schools have sealant programs where a dentist will come to the school and apply a sealant on children's teeth, which is an effective way to prevent cavities for millions of kids. Dental sealant is a thin coating that's applied to the back teeth, which are used the most while chewing. And if you have trouble taking your child to the dentist, ask your school about starting a sealant program.
New on Nightside, the American Heart Association says there's a growing body of evidence that anxiety, stress, and depression aren't just bad for your mental health. They can also negatively impact your heart.
When we are anxious or when we're depressed, when we don't get enough sleep, all of these things tie in not only to our mental health, but also our cardiovascular health.
American Heart Association President Dr. Michelle Albert, who you just heard from, says the body's biological reaction to stress, anxiety, and other types of poor mental health can manifest physically through an irregular heart rate or rhythm, increased blood pressure, weight gain, and inflammation throughout the body, all things that can increase your risk of heart attack.
Remember that you are more likely to die of a heart attack or a stroke than you are of cancer. Cardiovascular disease kills more persons than all cancers combined.
Dr. Albert's tips for improving your mental well-being include practicing meditation, regularly getting plenty of sleep, connecting with family and friends, practicing mindful movement like yoga or Tai Chi, spending time with your animals, and working out for at least 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week.
The FDA just approved a new medicine that could help millions of women who suffer from hot flashes during menopause. Veozza blocks receptors in the brain that play a role in the regulation of body temperature as an alternative to traditional hormone replacement therapy. The drug maker says it will cost $550 for a 1-month supply. The FDA warns it can pose a higher risk of liver injury.
New on Nightside, in the 11th month since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, governments in many red states around the country have moved to implement strict abortion restrictions, including Idaho.
Dr. Lauren Miller is a doctor who specializes in maternal fetal medicine and high-risk pregnancies. She's been treating women in Boise, Idaho for the last 5 years, but things are different now that the state has passed a near-total abortion ban. Randy Kay reports.
What's your greatest fear? Being tried as a felon simply for saving someone's life.
Last August, Idaho made abortion illegal, with 2 exceptions. An abortion can still be performed if the mother's life is in danger, and in the cases of rape or incest that have been reported to a law enforcement agency. But Dr. Miller says the law is still somewhat murky.
We have a death exception, and that is it, without any other guidelines. If I don't act fast enough to save your life, prevent you from getting septic, I could be liable for civil cases. But if I act too quickly and I'm not 100% certain that the patient is going to die from the complications she's sustaining, then I could be guilty of a felony.
What is the bar then? How do you know when it's okay to intervene?
We don't know what that bar is, and no one wants to be the guinea pig first test case of that.
Complicating matters even more, the new law allows family members to sue providers who perform an abortion for at least $20,000 if it doesn't fall within the scope of the abortion ban here. Doctors in those cases also face suspension of their medical license, felony charges, even prison time. How does that square with what your medical training has taught you about treating women?
That's a huge part of why I'm leaving. It is true moral injury, right? I cannot provide the care that I've been trained to. It goes against what we're taught as physicians to protect the health of our patients.
Idaho's governor also signed a law that says anyone helping a minor travel out of state to terminate a pregnancy without parental consent is guilty of a crime. Dr. Miller has decided to move her practice to Colorado, where abortion is still legal, and she's not the only one leaving. Of the 117 doctors she informally surveyed in Idaho, 75 answered yes or maybe when asked if they were considering leaving, at least in part, because of the state's abortion laws. Keep in mind, these are the doctors who deal with the most significant pregnancy complications.
An Ohio woman escapes kidnappers, she says tried to burn her alive, and calls 911 from a convenience store. That's next on Nightside.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Hey, did you lock in the ringer for the softball team yet? We really need to repeat as Kubota League champs.
Yeah, check this out. What's up? 56.
Is that Ben Gregg?
Yeah, he can hit, he can pitch, and he sold 3 tractors this morning.
Come to Adams Tractor and get your Kubota today. For new tractors, parts, and service, and with 5 locations, we are the Northwest's biggest and best Kubota dealer.
They say there's nothing quite like the open road. I say there's nothing quite like the open road when you're driving a new Toyota from Findlay. And right now is the perfect time to trade up to a new RAV4, Toyota Camry, Corolla, or maybe a Tacoma or Tundra truck. Plus, Findlay Downtown Toyota has the financing you need to get you behind the wheel today, so you can start your driving adventures tomorrow. Findlay Toyota's downtown.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is where you're with the ones you love. Home isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, we're proud to call our communities home. And we're here with personalized home loans to help make your home dreams come true. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
4 News Now is brought to you by Huckleberries.
Well, a lot of us have experienced how when you get into the bottom of the valley, things get a little bit toastier, and that's exactly what we're going to see tomorrow. Officially, we're calling for a high of about 82 in Spokane, but in downtown, it'll be more like 85. You head up the hill towards Meade, 82 there. 83 in Spokane Valley. Liberty Lake actually got up into the mid-80s today, so we'll see how that goes. 80 in Coeur d'Alene proper, 80 in Hayden, upper 70s in Spirit Lake for the start of your weekend, and just add about 3-4 degrees and you'll have what's going on for Sunday. Now, what we had, when we get into Monday, it's almost 11:30. All right, when we get into Monday, you notice our chances in the computers to hit 85 degrees or warmer, man, they take a real big jump. But there is one little dip here on Tuesday, and so I want to talk about that a little bit because it's something that you'll need to know and probably want to check that 4 News Now weather app for. You see, this high heads to the north over Canada. We're bringing all the hot weather, but then from the south comes a little low, and it's going to be bringing in some moisture and a chance for some thunderstorms. That could happen as early as Monday afternoon, Monday night, but I think the big day is going to be Tuesday into Wednesday when it's sitting basically right over us. But after that, high pressure builds again, and so by the time we get to about a week from now, all of a sudden, we're back in the same situation we are today, but our baseline for temperatures is going to be a lot higher because we are not getting out of the 80s all week long. We're looking for those isolated storms Monday night through Wednesday afternoon, and then I think after that, the temperatures are really going to start to crank up. Talking about 88 on Thursday, and I just hope that I get to adjust this down as we progress in our forecast. But for now, our first 90-degree day, I'm calling for that on Friday.
Whew. Well, it could change. It's still 6-7 days out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't come before then.
Yeah, that too. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Well, in Ohio, a suspect was caught hiding inside a clothes dryer during a drug bust.
And there's crazy video to prove it.
Get your leg out. Now.
Okay, well, that's Michael McCloskey. He decided it would be a good idea to hide inside that dryer, and police also found people hiding under the stairs, in the attic, hiding under blankets in the basement, and in the house they also found several drugs, including fentanyl.
New on Nightside, a mother who went missing just before she was to testify in a rape case has now been found. She was seen on surveillance video limping into a convenience store last night to call 911.
You'll never believe this. We just got a call from LaShelle Jordan. She said she got away from the people that kidnapped her. They tried to burn her alive.
LaShelle Jordan, who you just saw in that surveillance video, was last seen Saturday evening. Her family told police she stepped outside to grab something from her car and never returned. She was going to testify this week in a rape and kidnapping case involving 65-year-old Michael Stennett. She told family Stennett had been stalking her, but police say he has not been connected to LaShelle Jordan's disappearance as of yet. Jordan was taken to the hospital where she's recovering. 4 News Now will be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. 4 News Now is brought to you by Ritter's Garden and Gift.
She was extremely beautiful. Breathtaking.
She's something else. She was not easy for people, but apparently she was very worth it.
If Elizabeth Taylor was coming of age today, she'd be somebody like Taylor Swift. Elizabeth Taylor is the first influencer. This is who I am. This is what I do.
She liked guys. She liked sex.
More power to her.
I have a great passion. I can't do anything halfway.
Superstar Elizabeth Taylor, Sunday night at 10, 9 Central on ABC.
When it comes to baseball and Chevrolet, you won't have to look much further than the Inland Northwest to find some of the best examples of how Chevy dealers are giving back. The Diamonds and Dreams baseball field renovation, hosted by Hometown Chevy and the 4 News Now's Extreme team, ensures that those who play ball have what they need. From field upgrades to cash and baseball kit donations given to Little Leaguers, Hometown Chevy is proud to keep the dream of baseball alive. This year, they'd like to welcome Lewiston Motors and Dave Smith Motors to the Hometown Chevy Group. Check out a dealership near you today. Spring has arrived, and now's your chance to win the ultimate Moses Lake Spring Festival experience. Winners receive a weekend trip for 2, including hotel, food, amusement park passes, and surf and slide tickets. Go to KXLY.com and enter to win your Spring Festival getaway.
It's time to get the tax break you deserve this week at Walker's Furniture, as they offer a double sales tax discount or no minimum purchase, no money down, 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
There's no better time to freshen up your living room, dine in style, or get that bedroom set you've always wanted. Plus, get a double sales tax discount or no interest for 5 years financing.
Making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less at Walker's.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me for so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
Well, just a day after releasing their schedule, the Seattle Seahawks are already kicking off their off-season program. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesome. The Seahawks had their first chance to check out their new draft class at their annual rookie camp this afternoon. First-round draft picks Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba were limited in practice. The two are coming off hamstring injuries. The other draft picks, they were in attendance practicing out there fully. These next few days of camp will be critical in getting the rookies up to speed before the rest of the team arrives for off-season workouts.
It's the first time getting out here with the guys and the coaches and being able to perform in front of them. So, like you said, you can't take your first impression back, so it's everything.
We've told them that we got to learn them and figure them out. And they know that everything counts. We made a big deal about that. So that's how they present themselves and how they act and how they speak. So the process is underway. And now that they're here with us, this is the best chance to really start to figure who they are and what they're all about.
And Seahawks rookie camp will be running through Sunday. Gonzaga baseball hosting its final home series of the season, taking on last year's World Series runner-up, the Oklahoma Sooners, and Connor Caballas with an infield single as Gonzaga takes the early lead. But the Sooners are dangerous, game tied in the third, and that's when Kendall Pettis gives Oklahoma the lead. Pettis drives in 2 with the base hit, and that's all Oklahoma would really need. 5-2 is the final score. The Bulldogs will try again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Washington State baseball on the road for a 3-game series against Cal. And it was a home run party for the Cougars. Jonah Advincula starts the game off with a no-doubter to give Washington State the lead. Very next inning, it's Will Cresswell for the Cougars. He gets in on the action, and that 2-run blast makes it 3-0 Washington State. And then the next inning after that, it's Cam McGee for the Cougars. Washington State had 3 home runs in the first 3 innings of this game. Whatever the players ate before this one. Do it again tomorrow. The Cougars roll 9-5. Game 2 of the series will be at 2:05 tomorrow afternoon. The Seattle Mariners opening up a weekend series on the road against the Detroit Tigers. And Seattle's all-star outfielder Julio Rodriguez was dialed in. Rodriguez drives in a pair of runs with that base hit to give Seattle a 5-0 lead. Liking that, smiles, all fun and games. Then here he is again in the 9th, and this time Rodriguez leaves no doubt to this hit. Puts the finishing touches on it with a home run. He had 3 hits in this game, did Rodriguez. Mariners win 9-2. They're back at it tomorrow. First pitch is at 10:10 in the morning. The Spokane Indians drop one at home to the Hillsboro Hops 8-3. Game 2 of that series, or the next game of that series, I should say, is at 5:09 at Avista Stadium tomorrow night. And Washington State basketball, they added a pair of new players. Idaho transfer Isaac Jones and in-state recruit Isaiah Watts. Jones right there with the basket is a senior. Averaged 19 points and 7 rebounds a game last season for the Vandals. Also had the best shooting percentage in the Big Sky Conference. Watts is a freshman from Seattle. He was a 2-time All-Star in high school. And Watts is the son of former Washington State Huskies standout Donald Watts, who played for UW in the 90s. He's also the grandson of former Seattle Supersonics great Slick Watts. Good news for Washington State by adding these players, because the program is also losing a key player. According to 24/7 Sports, Cougars center Adrame Jong is entering the transfer portal. Jong is a 7-footer from Senegal who is a former 4-star recruit for the Cougars. He averaged 6 minutes a game last season. Jong is the 5th player to leave the program this offseason, joining TJ Bamba, DJ Rodman, Deshaun Jackson, and NBA draft-bound Mohamed Gay. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Hepatitis C, don't just treat it, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Experience Broadway's newest hits, best love classics, and more. Live at First Interstate Center for the Arts in downtown Spokane. STCU Best of Broadway season tickets include Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, 6, My Fair Lady, and Disney's Frozen. Order season tickets now to reserve your seats. BroadwaySpokane.com.
It is Water Safety Month, and if you never learned to swim, it's not too late. We'll check out swim lessons for grown-ups just in time for summer. And it is also graduation season. Join us as we kick off our Class of 2023 celebration Monday on Good Morning Northwest.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
It is spring.
Is it,
it doesn't look like it, but it is still spring. But it is definitely going to feel like summer. So, you know, if you didn't tune up your AC the last time, probably this time's good shit.
Yeah, that's probably good advice.
And hey, it's Mother's Day Sunday, so let's talk about these baby names. Look at this little one. There's a list, there's always a list of the most popular baby names out there, and Olivia and Liam each took the #1 spot yet again.
Really?
Liam for the 6th year in a row. Yeah, I know a lot of Liams.
Let's get creative, moms. Come on, and dads too. I can't pin it on the moms.
I know. Dads can be very decisive on names.
Apparently, they're like, Liam and that's it.